Hi and welcome to another edition of Onside SA, the soccer show that gets you going. And we open up, Budge and I, with the news to let you know we have a winner on our last one standing, and it's Hilton Witz. Well done to him.
Yeah, he's been doing the Tour de Durban. I haven't seen him for two or three days, Paul. I'm trying to trace him, but he's all over doing his lap of honour. But well done to Hilton.
Well done. It was tough. He edged out Mark Ferry, nice guy.
Yeah, I sent a message to Mark. He came back, he was happy. He didn't think he'd get 9 weeks, which is a great achievement.
It's a great
Paul.
achievement. You know, my usual 3 is starting to pale into insignificance. But well done to Hilton.
Yeah.
It's always tough. The next one starts, and it's a wonderful prize.
Yeah.
Now, you'll be taking him to England with you.
Yeah.
He must love his football. He loves his
Well,
racing.
he's a Man United fan, but knowing Hilton...
So you guys will be going to one game.
Going to one game. Hopefully it's the FA Cup
Hope
final.
it's very out of the capital.
Yeah, more than likely do a race, something to do with racing as well, knowing Hilton, he loves his
correct.
racing.
Yeah, he loves his
that'll be
racing.
the plan of attack.
But wonderful that we got another winner, and the new one. Now, this is very important. We really are picking up the numbers because it's a great prize for $100. You travel with Budge, your accommodations laid on, your games are laid on, and you fly to the UK and back. 22nd, that's when the next one starts.
Next Friday, yeah.
Budge will be contacting everybody and anybody else who wants to join in to take a chance and try win this prize. So the next competition starts on the 22nd.
22nd.
I've got that right,
next Friday,
Budge?
Paul, yeah.
Yeah. All right, before we look at Champions League, our man Charlie Pigram from Spurs went to the game last night. Now, Budge, I believe no German team has been beaten in London in the Champions League.
No.
And
well, there was one. Dortmund were the last one. They lost in the Champions League final.
Did they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bayern Munich beat them, but I know you're saying in a knockout
by an
stage,
English team.
By an English team.
By an English team.
Yeah.
And it's our biggest win, Spurs.
Yeah.
And Charlie Pigram was there at the game. He don't miss. And he sent us a little clip just for the Spurs boys out there. And believe me, if you've got clips on any of your top sides, send them. We will air them. And let's have a look. Here it is. Well, there we go. Thanks very much to Charlie. Charlie was at the game, Budgeon. I think a couple of weeks ago we played at Wembley, and we had the biggest amount of empty seats. And I remember the coach saying, we can't play in front of 30,000 people. You've got to raise it. We're getting spoiled because of that stadium.
Well, it's 90,000, Paul.
Full house yesterday, you know.
Yeah.
And they're great singers, but a great result. But we're going to get Stevie B on the line because he's in the London studio. And as soon as we get him on the line, they'll beam him through to us, Budge. And we can talk about the Champions League results because everyone's been saying how good it is. Now, are there games this week?
Yes, this game's coming up.
Tonight.
Liverpool, no. There's Europa League tonight.
Europa League.
Yeah, but next...
Are Arsenal still in that?
Arsenal and Chelsea both playing it, yeah. So hopefully it's on. I think they will both be on.
Yeah.
But
right, let's see. We've got Steve, you there? Hello, Steve. Yeah. Stevie, you there?
I'm here, yeah. I'm sure
Absolutely.
You're very happy after last night's performance.
Good morning, Steve. Yeah, we're absolutely thrilled. You know, it was a fabulous win, and it's given us a chance to go to the next round.
No, absolutely. I mean, I think, look, the game is not over, as we know. Dortmund are a good side. I think Tottenham took them by surprise, I think, especially the sort of intensity of the way they played in the second half. But, obviously Tottenham will have 1 or 2 players back. Dortmund were without 1 or 2 of their better players, but, no excuses. I think Tottenham were by far the best team.
Yeah. Steve, let's talk about the Champions League games on Tuesday. Obviously, Budge is a diehard Man United man, and his team were beaten by PSG 2-0. Did you get to watch that?
Yes, I did. And I mean, first half I thought was sort of relatively even. Obviously, United sort of losing sort of Martial and Lingard. But the second half, sadly, there was only one team in it. United just seemed to run out of ideas, and PSG just looked, just stepped up a gear and looked a good team.
Yeah, day and night between the two teams. Creativity as well. If you haven't got quality midfield players, I'm not saying Herrera and Matic, but if you take them in the Champions League phase, they're like in your maybe 3rd tier. But Verratti is some player, and even Di Maria, he has his moments, yeah.
The thing that I thought I sort of noticed more than it was that the quality of the final ball into the the box.
Yeah.
I mean, the amount of times United had the ball on the right-hand side, and almost every cross was like a magnet onto the head of Thiago Silva or one of the PSG players.
Yeah.
I just thought, they just missed the trick there. I just thought it was quite poor. And Sanchez, to me, just runs around, doesn't seem to do anything. But
Yeah, he hasn't brought that Arsenal form, has he? That form he had at Arsenal.
Absolutely. I mean, he hasn't brought any of the form he had at Arsenal at all. Whereas it's the weight of the fact that he's the highest paid player in Britain is, he certainly doesn't perform like that.
Yeah, and even with money aside, they were just too good for us. And remember last year they went to Real Madrid, Steve. They should have won the first leg, and then Neymar got injured and ended up getting knocked out. So what is the latest with Neymar?
They played very well. I mean, I
Yeah.
was, I thought the second half, I mean, the quality of the second goal, I mean, it was,
Yeah, it was
United couldn't get anywhere near them.
No, it was a real
And
superb
I think
goal.
without
Right.
Pogba in the second leg, I think it's beyond them,
Yeah.
sadly. So.
Even with Pogba, we got no chance there, Steve. They'll score a
Yeah.
couple. I don't see us scoring many, yeah. But
Did you watch Roma Porto?
just saw the highlights.
No,
Yeah.
just the goals. But that doesn't surprise me. I mean, they're obviously a hard team to beat, Roma. I think they've done enough to get through, but it's going to be tight. Obviously, there's only one goal in it, so.
Yeah, I think there'll be a few red cards in that second leg. The Italians are like,
Yeah.
and the Portuguese aren't much better. So I think it'll be a physical battle in Porto.
It was a tight game, this.
No, first legs normally are, but
Yeah. And then, Stevie, did you manage to pick up the goals from the Ajax Real Madrid game?
I haven't yet, no, but I understand that there was quite a bit of controversy.
Yeah.
They're the first side Ajax to have a goal ruled off from VAR
Yes.
in the Champions League, so that obviously hurt them. And then Real do what they do best, which is find a way to win in the Champions League.
Yeah.
So I think it's all to do for Ajax in the second leg.
yeah, I agree. Real Madrid will go through there. I think they win comfortably at home, Steve. Yeah.
Yeah, Steve, an interesting thing that Budge has put in front of me now is the next manager to leave his post. And I'm going to give you the betting. There are three managers, and we're talking about the Premier League here. Maurizio Sarri at 6-10, Marco Silva at 3-1, and Claude Puel at 5-1. Any comment?
Yeah, I mean, I think that Sarri is clear favourite to go, but obviously the next few weeks are fairly critical. I mean, Chelsea could be. I think got Malmo over 2 legs.
Yeah.
I can't see them slipping up there,
Yeah.
but they may well not beat United in the FA Cup. I think that's a close one, and certainly I can't see them beating City in the Carabao
League
Cup
Cup,
final.
yeah.
So I think it's all going to be. I think that will unravel in the next few weeks. There is no question. I mean, the defeat they had on Sunday was appalling, and then even the week before to lose 4-0 at Bournemouth. I think that's
Yeah, it's
two of the
mounting
heaviest
up.
defeats in Premier League history since they've been up there. So I don't think he's for the long term, and it's whether or not they have somebody in mind. I saw this morning that Zidane has been is the favourites of the bookie to take over, which is interesting because I thought at one point United were looking at him, but and the second favourite I saw was
Frank
Zola,
Lampard,
which,
yeah.
that would just be stopgap. I don't think Zola is a strong enough manager.
Yeah.
So, Steve, do you think he'll go?
I think he will go. There seems to be. It's obviously not working at the moment. They're hanging on to close. They've fallen out of the top 4 now.
Yeah.
And I think that certainly if they don't finish in the top 4, whether he lasts the season, but then he would certainly go in the summer.
Yeah. Steve,
Marco Silva, will he go?
Yeah, I'm. That's that one. I was surprised that he was so highly. I mean, Everton are obviously expected to do far better. They spent a lot of money over the last year or two, but they've having a really poor run.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I think they'll wait till the end of the season and see what happens. There's no point in them changing it now. So they're not going to go down. They're probably not going to finish top 4. So they're just going to sit mid-table. I think they'll take a view. But I think the new owners have aspirations to do better, and I'm sure they'll be disappointed.
Yeah. Steve, talking about Chelsea, you think they'll get top 4?
At this moment in time, you think if you look at form, obviously United are sort of there. I know that, and especially if if United look as if they're going to go out in the Champions League,
Yeah.
They won't have that distraction. Whereas Chelsea are sort of still in Europa as Arsenal are. So and you play a lot of games in that competition. So
Yeah.
I think at the moment, a few weeks ago you would have thought Chelsea could have been nailed on, but now I'd say, well, it's in the balance.
Okay. Steve, FA Cup weekend, you've obviously had a look at the fixtures. We kick off with QPR Watford. Can you smell an upset there?
I think a lot of this is going to depend on whether, now we're at the sort of, the last 16 and the sort of knockout stage, whether some of the bigger teams are going to stop rotating and actually play, their first team squad. Watford are a case in point. I mean, if Watford rest players and QPR play their strongest team, I can see QPR winning that. They're a funny team. One week they play well, one week they don't, but they're capable.
Yeah.
I hope that teams like Watford play their strongest side because they're only 2 or 3 matches away from getting to Wembley here.
Yeah, I think they will, Steve. They're 8th in the league. They can't go down. Finish 7th, I think, is going to be difficult for them. So why not have a dip at the FA Cup?
Absolutely. And this has been the criticism of teams sitting in their sort of position in the last couple of years. So, I would be disappointed if they don't play. And my brother's a Watford fan, and as I say, I mean, for them, a day out at Wembley, whether they get to the semis or the final, is all they've really got to play for this season.
Yeah. Can Derby upset Brighton?
I think they can. If Brighton rested players in their 2 games against West Brom, came through after extra time and brought Glenn Murray on. Again, if Brighton play a weakened team and Frank Lampard takes it seriously, worries me that Derby may rest players themselves because they're obviously a bit inconsistent in the league, but I guess for them promotion is priority. So it's one of those. I think that could go either way depending on who rotates the most.
Yeah, true. Wolves, Bristol City.
Well, this could be a good one. I mean, Bristol City, 9 wins in a row in all competitions.
Yeah.
I'd expect them to play a strong team. Wolves, to be fair to them, have played relatively strong sides in the FA Cup. They certainly did against Liverpool, and they did in the second leg against Shrewsbury. I hope that they play a strong team. I think if they do, I think Wolves might go through. I think Wolves might just pip this. I think they're playing well at the moment, Wolves.
Okay, Stephen, the big one, Chelsea Man United on Monday night.
I mean, again, it's I think neither team really wants to play each other at this stage, I'm sure. Chelsea got a lot of games. They play Thursday, they play the following Thursday.
Yeah.
But I don't think either can afford to rest too many players. It's a big game. Neither wants to lose this. So
yeah, as you say.
I've got a feeling United might bounce back. I think they were probably hurt by the PSG game. And I think Chelsea with an extra game tonight, I think makes United favourites. But it's going to be a good game. All the games are televised pretty much, so that certainly is on Monday.
Steve, onto the Championship. I see the big game is a Birmingham derby, Aston Villa versus West Brom.
Yeah, I mean, both. I mean, West Brom was surprised, but they've fallen off a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, they're still there in the playoff places, but they're losing touch with the leaders. Villa, you just don't know what you're going to get from them. I mean, they had an unbelievable game against Sheffield United. 3-0 down, game over with 10 minutes to go, and they come back to get 3 goals. I think this will be a high-scoring game. I'm not sure Villa have got what it takes to win. I think you could be looking at sort of a high-scoring draw though. Yeah.
Can Norwich bounce back against Bolton?
I think they will. I think that was, I guess, for many, that last night's was a surprising result. I'm sure you were thrilled
Preston,
with that. I saw they were 2-0 up early on.
Very quick, yeah.
Preston, and good luck to them. I mean, but I think Norwich need to bounce back, otherwise they could start to fall out the top 2.
Yeah, you see us beating Notts Forest. I see they've come right, Notts Forest, or not?
Yeah, Forest are a hard team to beat. I mean, they will feel a little bit aggrieved that they were pegged back by a penalty after Dwight Gale seemed to have dived afterwards. They're a hard team to beat. I think that's Preston Forest would be a good game. Both informed teams at the moment.
Yeah. And last but not least, Steve, Blackburn versus Middlesbrough.
Yeah, I think this will be a fairly low-scoring game. I mean, Blackburn are hard to beat at home. Borough, as we know, are hard to beat. They lost last night, Borough. Big top-of-the-table game. Lost at Sheffield United. I think that will be a tight game. I can see that being a low-scoring draw.
Yeah, Sheffield United have come right, Steve. You think they'll be too good for Reading?
Yeah, I have to say. I mean, last season they started off like a house on fire, then fell right away. Yeah. This season they just keep going, and they've got
Reading,
a squad of essentially non-Premiership players there, and they're playing very, very well as a team. So I think good luck to them. I think at the moment they've got a good chance to finish in that top 2, especially if either Norwich or Leeds
Yeah, they had a stutter. All right, Steve.
All right, Steve, I just quickly, while we're talking about the championship, I just had a look at the league. It's basically the winner's going to come from the top 3 teams, which will be Leeds,
Norwich and Sheffield United.
and Sheffield United. The rest have got a lot to do now.
They have, and they're all. It's this season more than many for the last few seasons. There's always been 1 or 2 teams that have pulled away.
Yeah.
This season they haven't. Leeds lose games, Norwich lose games, Sheffield United we know lose games, and then in the playoff places, they're all taking, they're all dropping points. So I think it's quite exciting. Sort of and there are teams that could still make a late run who are not in the playoff places yet. So teams like Hull who weren't that far adrift. I mean,
What about Preston?
What about the North End?
Villa have still got a chance.
Yeah.
Stevie, just to remind you that I will be putting you in for the last one standing again. Is there any chance you can go past 3 weeks?
Probably unlikely, but one never knows.
Yeah.
Well, it starts on the 22nd.
No one will win before the end of the season. I'll have to carry it over.
I think you're going to come with a rattle. This could be your thing for the season now. But Steve, thanks very much, and as usual, great to hear from you.
All the best, Steve.
Bye.
Cheers. Bye-bye. Right, there's Stevie B. Okay, Budge, let's look at the FA Cup fixtures coming up, because there's going to be a lot of gambling on this, and you've gone through the games. I'm just going to touch on the betting and your opinion on these games. QPR at home to Watford, and the draw is 24-10, 8-10 Watford.
Yeah, I like Watford, Paul. I think they're going to have a dip. Local derby. I agree with what Steve says. The first couple of rounds, let's try and secure status. Now you've got QPR in the quarterfinal. If you avoid Man City or the winners of Chelsea, Man United, great draw. You're at Wembley.
Yeah.
For the fans, I fancy Watford. I think they'll play their best team. I think they'll be good for the QPR team. We've only won 1-7, Paul. They've fallen off the bus.
Yeah. Now, Derby County go to Brighton. Derby County have got a game in hand in the championship. They need to win there to get up to 54 points to get in the scrum. So they've got to keep an eye on that. What would your take be for Lampard here?
Yeah, they played last night. They drew 1-1 at Ipswich. I thought that they scored in the second minute. I listened to Frank Lampard this morning. But I fancy Derby to get a result because he has a go. But Brighton have been disappointing.
Yeah,
they've
they're
dropped
quite
to
good
14.
At home.
Yeah, they are. I think a draw's a play here, Paul.
Yeah,
but I think Chris Hughton also. He's got to play a good team. He can't just go and fanny around.
No, he'll send out a good team.
I think a draw player in that game.
A hell of a draw. Wimbledon-Millwall.
Oh, Paul, I couldn't believe Wimbledon. I backed West Ham to beat them. They beat West Ham 4-2 at home. Millwall beat Everton. So local, I think it's a London derby. I'm not with my bearings. I think they're both around 10. I like Millwall, Paul.
Yeah.
They're a good cup record in recent times. I think 9 to 10
Millwall
is a
are
good
famous
bet.
for what?
Well, they're the Lions. That was the Dockers.
Ferroti.
That's the...
They love fighting. Millwall, they've always
was a
been
guy
a
got
ghost fight.
stabbed. I'm
That's
from
right.
Millwall
They've always,
or something like
from
that.
Millwall. That's right. You remember the guys came in
That was the Green Street Hooligans, wasn't it? Chelsea Millwall. Oh, that was Chelsea West Ham.
No. This was an ISIS guy, if I can use that term. He came to the knife killing people. Do you remember?
He said,
the guy
I'm Millwall, and he ran it and
He ran
attacked
it
him.
I'm Millwall. He ended up in hospital. Yeah. Okay.
Dockers.
Newport County, haven't they done well?
Brilliant, Paul. They got beat, I think it was in midweek. They rested half their team for this game.
1-10 is a good price, Man City.
It's gone out to 1-16, Paul. Whatever price Man City is, you've got to fancy. Newport, I know they beat Middlesbrough and Leicester, but they make a lot of money with the TV game, Paul. But you can't Man City not to win that, even on the mud deep. Yeah.
Bristol Wolves, we touched on
that'd be a good game, Paul. Bristol in form. They haven't
they're a
lost
good
in
team,
15. Well, they got to the semi-final of the League Cup last year.
Who beat Man United last year?
That was them, Bristol City.
They got that young manager.
Young guy, Lee Johnson, yeah.
That's right,
And Man City stuck them out. But
Yeah.
Wolves, Paul, funny team, Wolves. They play the 3-5-2. They keep it tight. Good team, Wolves.
Good team.
Yeah, they beat
Portuguese,
Liverpool.
yeah.
So
Beat Spurs.
I think, tight game, this, Paul. I think it draws a player.
Doncaster Rovers, Crystal Palace.
Palace have got to go for it.
Got to beat them.
Doncaster, League One, going well at home. I think they've won 8 and drawn 2 the last 10 at home. But you can't see them, Palace.
1-2 Palace.
Got a fancy Palace, Paul.
Swansea City, who...
they've come right the last few weeks. They got beat by Leeds last night. And Brentford have also come right under the Thomas Frank. The manager went to Aston Villa.
Okay.
Dean Smith, they've come back to the pack. Championship quarter-final, like Steve says, what teams are they going to play? But of the two teams, I like Brentford, Paul.
Okay, now I'm going to ask you, you're a Man United man of note. Chelsea have to have a knee-jerk reaction. They've got to, as I say, 4-0 to Bournemouth, 6-0 to Man City. The manager's favourite to go He's got the players.
Yeah.
You've got to get them motivated for this game.
Well, he's got to play his best team in this one. You're at home as well, Paul. Away from home, you can maybe get away with it. If they don't get a result here, Paul, they're in serious trouble. Then they've got Man City in the League Cup on the Sunday. Very tight game, this, Paul. Don't be surprised if it goes to a replay.
All right, let's look at the championship fixtures.
Yeah.
Right, but told me off on top
Yeah,
there.
well,
Rotherham,
we were on
Sheffield.
Sheffield Wednesday. I read Steve Bruce's report. They were all over. They couldn't score. It's a Yorkshire derby. I think there'll be goals in this, Paul. I've got a side for a team, Sheffield Wednesday. Yeah.
Okie dokie. The next one
Aston
is...
Villa, Birmingham, Derby, and West Brom. Now, West Brom away from home have had better results than at home. You know, West Brom have only won one of the last
I thought
7 at
they'd
home.
bounce back, and
So did
it's
I,
not going to
Paul.
happen.
They just can't keep clean sheets.
Although both these teams' chances are coming back.
West Brom at home, Paul, been terrible.
Terrible. No?
Away from
Who's
home.
in charge? Pulis?
That's Darren Moores at West
they
Brom.
left him
Tony
on.
Pulis is at Middlesbrough.
So they left Darren Moore
He
on.
did a good job, Paul. So, you know, he's a local man. He played at the club, so give him a chance.
Yeah, absolutely.
Won't cost you a fortune. But West Brom are the two teams. But I agree with Steve. Should be a high-scoring game.
Bolton Wanderers.
Well, Bolton won last night. They won 1-0 at Birmingham, so they'll come out fired up. Now, Norwich got beat by my boys Preston. We murdered them last night. They've got to Norwich score goals.
They're fighting for the league.
Yeah, they second top. Leeds went above them. But I think
Preston beat them.
Preston murdered them, 3-1. 3-0 up. They scored in injury time, last kick of the game. But expect them to bounce back, Paul. Bolton have got to attack.
Yeah.
I think it's 3 points from safety, so they can't come and play for a draw. But I think Norwich will get back to winning ways, and what I think will be a high-scoring game.
Ipswich Town, will you take the even money Stoke?
No, you can't, Paul. They don't win away from home. I think a draw 22-10. Now, Ipswich drew with Derby last night. I heard Paul Lambert this morning. He was over the moon the way they battled, even though Frank Lampard
Paul Lambert there?
Yeah.
He
was at Norwich. He got
Norwich.
sent off on the weekend. You know, they played Norwich. You know, the local Derby got sent off. A draw, a big player there, Paul. But I think there'll be goals because they're both, you've got to have a go for it.
Yeah.
You know? I think Ipswich are 10 points from safety, so it's pointless hanging back.
What about the North End against Notts?
Hard game.
Hard
for us,
game.
Paul,
Forest, no monkeys.
Martin O'Neill's gone there, tightened things up. You know, I think there'll be goals as well because we have a go, Paul. But I think a draw player there as well. But Preston and a draw for me there.
Sheffield United, too
they
good.
Should be too good, Paul. They third game well at home. Yeah, it should be. They score a lot of goals, especially at home, Paul. So I expect Sheffield United should be good things.
All right, and then Blackburn,
Yeah,
Middlesbrough.
Blackburn have just fallen off the cliff lately. You know, Middlesbrough, shame they got beat. I saw Tony Pulis. He wasn't happy with the free kick that was awarded before Sheffield United scored the goal. You know, I like Middlesbrough. They missed a run away in the last minute to get a point. 14-10 Middlesbrough for me there, Paul.
Okay. Then we've got a slide for you now, just to show you those of you who are looking to go off to the Dubai World Cup. There it is. Get older, let's go travel. It's there it shows you what it includes. It's great racing, great fun.
Yeah.
And those footballing guys who love their racing. In the top left-hand corner is Gary Westwater riding a mobile horse. Look at him.
Wonder how his back was after he finished the ride.
Yeah. So get older, let's go travel, or Phil Georgia if you want to join them. Right, let's go to Nedbank Cup, but the results.
Well, there was a game last night, but it got waterlogged.
Waterlogged. Jeez, the rain came down.
Bucketed.
You know, we lost racing on Monday, we lost racing on Tuesday. There's been a lot of rain around the country, heavy rain as well. So the fixtures of this weekend, the Nedbank fixtures. Right, let's go and have a look at them. But starting off with Cape Town.
You know, 2 first division teams.
Who's this, Cape or
Cape
Moya?
and Moya playing Mbombela United.
Never heard of them.
No, they took over teams, previous teams. Cape and Moya took over Platinum Stars, the franchise. You know, Paul, it's a 3 o'clock game on Friday. You know, it'll be tight. Cape and Moya
both in the first division.
Both in the first division. Mbombela are 4th, but away from Cape Town, a draw a big player for me there, Paul. Yeah.
Cape Town City against Highlands.
Yeah,
Highlands
should be
strong off their win, beating Hunt's team.
Yeah.
And Cape Town City,
It
they're
should be
always
a good
dangerous
game,
at home.
Paul. Friday night in Cape Town. You know, 8-10 Cape Town City may be a bit short, but you've got to fancy them of the 2 teams, Paul. You know, but Highlands, I've watched them, as you say, they beat Bidvest Wits.
Yeah, that's
very
a
well
cracking
organised.
win. Cracking win.
Tight game.
Witbank Spurs, Golden Arrows.
Well, Golden Arrows have come right under Steve Compella, but we both played in Witbank, Paul. It's not the easiest place to go.
Jeez.
Shakes Mashaba's in charge of Witbank Spurs. If there's an upset, that could be it.
Gee, when I played in Witbank, we took 2
Terrible,
8-seater
aeroplanes,
planes, and we flew in from Virginia.
Virginia,
Yeah, to go in there. And I'll never forget, Budge, when we played there, that one day we played Witbank, there was a boxing ring in the one corner off the field. There were fights on. We were playing, and they had a
There's
bill of
more
fighting.
people watching the boxing.
Well,
yeah.
much more fun, you know. There were a couple of bad tackles, but the boxing was more
never
fun.
easy place to go to Witbank.
No, Witbank,
Paul,
never
so,
easy. Rassie got the winner.
Okay.
Rassie got the winner that
Must have
day.
been a header. Yeah.
Guaranteed. He's like Crouch. He doesn't score with his feet.
Score with his feet, yeah.
Yeah, so golden arrows for you?
Yeah, golden arrow.
Even
But
though
a
it's
tight
a
game,
tough game,
yeah.
Chipper,
Shakuma Matsi, I don't want to pronounce the third name of it, Paul, but I like
you got
Chipper.
3 names?
Yep, 3 names. You know, Chipper United for me, Paul. I think 9 to 10 is a good bet. Clint's got his boys fired up, going well, being hard to beat, and it's a great chance, Paul. A lot of big teams, Bar Chiefs eliminated. So I like Chipper to get a result there.
Bloom Celtic, Richards Bay.
Well, Richards Bay upset the apple cart. They beat Free State Stars in the last round. Now, Bloom Celtic, Paul, 7 to 10 looks an absolute certainty, but they have this notion of just disappointing at a big stage. But you've got to fancy them, Paul. But
Got to
I'd throw
fancy
the
them.
draw in.
You've got to throw them. Now, the next game is one I've got to talk to you about. Now, the Magic are playing Kaiser Chiefs. Now, a lot of people don't know the Magic, coached by our great mate, George
he's
Durnley.
a part owner. I must have named after himself.
Yeah,
Magic,
he was Magic. He loved
good
nutting
striker.
people. He was a great player.
Yeah,
he played
Bafana
for his
man.
country, he played for Bafana, and he stuck it back into the game. You know,
They're a second. They're in the Motsepe League, which is a regional Western Cape League. They're second.
Second.
So they won on penalties the last round. But disappointing for George is that they've gone to Port Elizabeth
Instead of
Cape Town. They couldn't get a stadium reportedly in Cape Town, so they've had to move it to Port Elizabeth. So I think that's the end of their hopes.
The Chiefs are going to beat them.
Well,
but
they should do, yeah.
What type of money would they get out of this, Budge?
I haven't looked at the stake money, Paul, but the crowd money should be quite nice for them.
nice.
It'd be a full
Kaiser
house in
Chiefs,
PE.
yeah, Kaiser Chiefs,
always
great
get
stadium there.
Yeah, it'd be hard for them to upset, but
I hope it's on the box.
it should be.
Should be on the box. Nice to see George Durnley.
big George,
Wonderful human being.
good man,
Good man. George Durnley, top man. I'm pleased that he's doing well. He loves the game. And then Jomo Cosmos against Galaxy.
TS Galaxy, both first division teams, Paul. I like Jomo Cosmos, yeah. They stuck out Barocca in the last round. I think they'll knock out the Galaxy in the next round. So it's Cosmos for me, Paul.
Okay, let's go and look at those sixes. Budge, give us your thoughts on this.
Yeah, it's obviously a FA Cup, several of them. I've gone 3 bankers and 3 fields. I've gone the field with Brighton, Derby. I've looked for the upset in the Witbank Spurs Golden Arrows games. I've banked Chipper United to beat Shakuma Matsi. I like Millwall to beat AFC Wimbledon. You can't look past Man City not beating Newport County. And I've gone the field, Bloemfontein Celtic, Richards Bay.
162.
Yeah.
The next one.
Yeah, the next one a little bit more difficult. I've gone Sheffield Wednesday, win and draw in the local derby at Rotherham. I've put the field with Aston Villa versus West Brom. I've banked Norwich to beat Bolton. I've gone Stoke City, win and draw at Ipswich. I've gone the field with Preston Forest sitting on the fence. And I've banked Sheffield United to beat Reading, 216.
Okay, let's look at the 10, Budge.
Yeah, the 10 went Derby, win and draw. I had to side with one of them. I just think Derby will get a result at Brighton. I've gone Portsmouth, win and draw at Southend, League One game. I've gone Sheffield Wednesday, win and draw at Rotherham. I've gone the field with the Aston Villa West Brom game. I've banked Norwich to beat Bolton. I've gone Stoke, win and draw at Ipswich. I've gone the field with Preston and Nottingham Forest and ended up with 3 bankers. Sheffield United to beat Reading, Millwall to beat AFC Wimbledon, and Man City to beat Newport, 288.
Okie dokie, the impossible one.
Yeah, well, we've got to have a dip at it, Paul, but the usual...
What's the closest we've got?
We've had 4 12 out of 13s.
Gee, okay.
Yeah. So I've gone Man City banked to beat Newport. I've banked Millwall to beat AFC Wimbledon. I've gone Preston North End, win and draw at home against Notts Forest. I've banked Sheffield United to beat Reading, Norwich to beat Bolton. I've gone Stoke, win and draw at Ipswich. And I end up with a whole lot of League One games. I've banked Barnsley to beat Wickham. I've gone Charlton Athletic, win and draw at home against Blackpool.
Have Blackpool just gone into
No,
receivership?
yeah. I watched it. It was
Did
on
you
this
see the
morning.
owner?
Yeah.
What
he
a
did.
flamboyant
all the money
guy.
that they got from the Premiership, he took it straight out the club. I think they got like 60 million. When they were in the Premiership, he took every cent out. So
why is he in court? They're suing him?
well,
or?
they're suing him for
Yeah.
all sorts of things. So,
Okay.
I've got the Charlton win and draw at home against Blackpool. Luton are going well at the top, so I've thrown the draw in with Fleetwood Town, Joey Barton's team against Luton. I've gone Coventry win and draw at home against Walsall. I've gone Scunthorpe win and draw at Gillingham. I've gone Bradford City win and draw at home against Plymouth. And sided with the posh Peterborough United win and draw at Oxford United, 435.
All right, Budge, let's go punting. Let's go punting. Tell us what you're thinking here.
Yeah, FA Cup, I think Watford will beat QPR. I like Millwall to beat AFC Wimbledon. And I've gone win and draw Derby at Brighton. And I think United will get a good result at Chelsea. I don't see us getting beat. Well, hopefully not anyway.
Is that 90 minutes?
That's 90 minutes, yeah. Okay. 2,200 to 200. Onto the championship, I've gone Sheffield United and Norwich City to win. And there's got to be over 2.5 total goals in each game. So Sheffield United to beat Reading. And I've gone Norwich to beat Bolton. And over 2.5 total goals in each game. I've gone Middlesbrough to beat Blackburn. And I've gone win and draw Sheffield Wednesday at Rotherham, 3,200 to 200.
All right.
Yeah, the Nedbank treble, Paul. I've gone Chipper United to beat Shakuma Madzi. I've gone Joma Cosmos to beat TS Galaxy. And I think if ever Chiefs haven't won a trophy in 3 years, if ever there's a trophy that were 5-2 to win the trophy, I've gone with Chiefs, Paul, 2,900 to 200. Both teams to score sides are Aston Villa, West Brom, Ipswich and Stoke, Preston, Notts Forest, Rotherham, Sheffield Wednesday, Swansea and Brentford, 3,000 to 200.
So we need some goals.
Need plenty of goals in the championship.
The quartet?
The Spanish quartet, I've gone Celta Vigo to beat Levante. I've gone Real Madrid to score in both halves against Girona. And I've gone both teams to score in the Rayo Vallecano Atletico Madrid and Huesca Athletic Bilbao games, 2,300 to 200. And Collis King 6 on Ixa. I've gone Crystal Palace to beat Doncaster Rovers. I've gone Sheffield United to beat Reading. I've gone Barnsley to beat Wycombe Wanderers. I've gone Chipper United to beat Shakuma Madzi. I've gone Barcelona to beat Real Valladolid and Celta Vigo to beat Levante, 2,500 to 200.
Fantastic, Budge. That looks very, very good. Okay, and Budge, your best bet?
Yeah, Paul, I went for, obviously, at the price. I went 9 to 10. I think it's 9.5. I just think Millwall will have to beat AFC Wimbledon. I know they both play. The pitches aren't the best where they play at. I just think there's too much riding for Millwall. I know AFC Wimbledon were bottom of League One. I fancy Millwall, Paul. It's 9 to 10. And then I went for Sheffield Wednesday. They come right under Steve Bruce. Rotherham have got to have a go for it, Paul. They're struggling. They're just above the relegation places, or they're in the fight. Yeah. And I think Sheffield Wednesday will pick them off. So I'm with Stevie Bruce. Yeah.
Okay, not Stevie B, Stevie Bruce. Well, very good. And don't forget, the new last one standing starts on the 22nd of this month. Get hold of Budge. He will be sending out his WhatsApps. And Budge, let's hope we get a big squad in the game.
Oh, no doubt about that, Paul. Last
Boys,
part of the
it's all about bragging rights too, and laughing when your mates go out. I'm telling you up front, I'll never
Watford.
Put in Watford again. Yeah, okay. They were at home, they lost 4-0, I went out. Anyway, until next time, stay on side.